Yes?
I keep hearing people talk about Forex. What is Forex?
Oh, you want to learn about Forex and foreign exchange?
Yes.
Come over here, let me tell you. All right. Okay. This is an example. This is a 5,000 watch. What do you do with this?
Buy stuff.
Buy things. All right. So whenever you want to buy bread or something, you're going to take this 5,000 kwacha, you go and buy. All right. But now, let's say you want to buy a pair of shoes from South Africa. You want to order it online.
Yeah.
Can you be able to use this 5,000?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not in South African currency.
It's not South African money. Oh, it's South African what?
Currency.
Currency. You're right. Now, this is what's going to happen. For me to be able to buy that pair of shoes in South Africa, I need to change this money in a currency that South Africa is going to accept. And at this moment, most of all the countries in the world, they use the US dollar. Have you ever heard of the US dollar?
Yes.
Where does it come from?
America.
Yes, it's American currency. So we use that US dollar for us to be able to buy from South Africa, from any other country outside Malawi. Okay? So this is what happens. Malawi has to have money, that US dollar in the bank here. So I will go to the bank and tell the bank, I want to buy money, I want to buy shoes from South Africa. And then they will tell me to make an order for those shoes. And then those shoes, the amount of kwacha that I'm going to use at the bank is going to be converted into US dollars to pay there in South Africa. So that is foreign exchange. That is foreign currency. Forex. Yeah. So Forex is the money that is being used internationally. You know, for us to be able to trade with countries, or the countries to trade with one another. All right. So, do you have any other question that you'd like to ask?
Where does Forex come from?
Where does Forex come from? All right. This is what happens. For a country to be able to trade with another country, it needs to have that US dollar in their possession. But now to get that US dollar in their possession, the country needs to produce products that they can be able to sell to other countries. And then when they sell those products to other countries, those countries are going to buy those things, those products using the American US dollar money. So for example, I'm making machines here. And then I want to sell this machine to somebody in Tanzania. Now, I'll tell him my machine is selling at 1.8 million. And normally the people in Tanzania will ask me, how much is that in US dollars? Then I'll tell them whether it is 2,000 US dollars. So what they'll do, they will place an order for me to ship the machine to Tanzania. And they'll go to their bank. And their bank is going to convert their currency into the US dollar. And then their bank is going to send that money to my bank. My bank is going to take that money, bank will keep it with the Reserve Bank. And they will actually change that money into Malawian kwacha. So me, I'm going to go and get that money in Malawian kwacha. But that US dollar is being kept by our Reserve Bank. You understand? So it is very important for a country to be able to make products so that they can sell outside, so that people can pay in US dollar, so that the Reserve Bank can keep that money. Why does the Reserve Bank keep that money? It's because now I want to buy a machine. I want to buy parts for my machine from China. Yeah. I'm going to go on the internet to find out about this parts that I want to buy. And then when I want to pay, my bank is going to get that money that was saved at the Reserve Bank in US dollar and pay the Chinese company.
Why is the economy bad because of foreign exchange?
Okay, so you want to know why the foreign exchange is affecting Malawi's economy. All right, so I want to just give you an example of how a country, why it is very important to have foreign exchange or to have the reserves in US dollars in your country. Let's go. Okay, add a little bit. The final compaction. Okay, now we want to move the wheelbarrow this side. We want to pull out the block to see if it has made a block. Remember, we didn't mix any cement to the. Can you push it? There's no cement at all. Yeah, here is the block now. No cement, just corridors. Now you can see it's actually a very strong block. So it means that if we had to mix with cement, it would be much, much stronger. So there you go, Malawi and Africa. We at Block 929 Gizmo machines. We have made a manual machine. Now you don't have to worry about fuel. You don't have to worry about maintenance of the engine. You just get the machine that was made by ourselves. It's going to have 5 years guarantee. So when you buy this machine for 5 years, you forget. Yeah, so thank you very much. All right, so we are now in front of this machine. It's a soya threshing machine. What does this machine do?
It breaks the soya. It peels the soya.
Okay, and then? All right, what happens is people harvest soya, and then they will want to break the kernels of the soya so that they can release the soya beans.
What are the kernels?
That's the thing that covers the bean. It's called a kernel. So they're going to be using that, this machine to do that. So this machine, you have to take the soya, and then you put in the machine, it processes it, and then it releases the soya as the bean. Okay, so first of all, there has to be an act of bringing the soya, putting in the machine, processing it, and come a result where the soya beans have been separated. That's the same way that economy moves in a country. You know, we need to first produce, whether it's tobacco, maize, soya, whatever, and then we need to have that thing, put it in a machine called economy. The economy is going to process it, and the outcome is going to be foreign exchange. If we take banana leaves and put them in there, are we going to get soya coming out?
No.
If we put beans in there, what will come out here? Beans, of course. Yeah. So if you put in soya, you will get soya. If you put in beans, you get beans. So if a country cannot think of saying what do we want to put in our economy so that we can process it by selling to other countries, so that we get foreign exchange. Now, if a country doesn't have foreign exchange, it means that it cannot buy anything from outside the country. So, for instance, there are so many things. Malawi has to buy medicine from outside the country. We have to buy materials for us who are doing business. The government itself has to buy cars and all those kind of things. If we can't be able to buy those things from outside the country, then there will not be any movement of production in the country. So for a country to be able to run away from a situation where they're going to have the economy are getting affected because of Forex, they need to have so many things that will be put in this machine that is going to be bringing out what? Foreign exchange. Now you're getting that.
Yeah.
So Malawi is not doing that. It means that your dad and the rest of Malawi, we are failing. You understand what I mean? We are not thinking. What do you think are things that can bring Forex in Malawi?
Production of different products.
Like what?
Manufactured products.
Like what? What must be manufactured? What must be manufactured in Malawi so that we can sell outside? If you were to be given money, what would you manufacture? You can't think of anything you can manufacture. Machines that we're making, we can sell this machine outside. Eh? We can manufacture the soya that we're producing. We can make it. We can make cooking oil from it. And it's not only manufacturing products. The country, Malawi, is a beautiful country. So the first thing we would do, fix our roads, reconstruct our airport, and make sure that we develop the lakeside, so that people will think of Malawi as a what? Tourists. They will think of Malawi as a place to go for holiday. And also, what we'll do is, when we fix the lakeside, we will make it so attractive, so that people will say, for me to have a good holiday, I need to go to Malawi because it is affordable. But now, what we do in our country, we raise the prices for our tourism industry. It makes people to get afraid to say, I can't go to Malawi. Because at this moment, if one has got money, they would rather go to South Africa than to go to Malawi. Why?
Because of the expense.
Malawi is very expensive. That's the reason why. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are so many things that we can do in our country to make our economy grow. And also the manufacturing. Our country should not underestimate people like us who are producing small machines like this. Because what can happen also is, if many people in Malawi can be producing machines, it means what?
That there will be more production in the country.
And then there will be what?
There will be foreign exchange.
Who is going to bring that foreign exchange?
The
Our neighbors around here. People from Zambia will come to buy this machine. People from Tanzania will come to buy this what? This machine. Yeah? So, what do you think must happen for this to be able to happen?
People must be able to send the stuff out.
The government needs to support small people like me, so that a lot of people who are doing small people, welders, they can all be encouraged to make production, so that we have a lot of things that we can produce in Malawi, and then we can be able to sell. Do you have any other question?
No.
Why? So you understand the whole thing, the economy, the forex situation?
I have a question.
Yes.
For tourists to actually come to Malawi, and you should fix since the economy is already bad,
Yeah.
then how are you going to fix everything if you're not going to raise prices and make things expensive?
If we're not going to raise prices and make these things expensive,
A little bit more expensive.
I don't have to raise anything to be expensive. You understand? We actually have to make the products that are coming from Malawi affordable. Because if we make them affordable, it means a lot of people are going to come to buy in Malawi. And then the more people they come to buy, it means I, as a producer in Malawi, will have more business. So if I have more business, it means the tax that I pay to the government is going to be what? More. If I do no business, I pay more tax to the government. Why would it be less? If I do less business, I can't pay government tax. So if I do more business, I'm going to pay more tax to the government. Now, if government has got more tax, because the job of the tax that the government gets is to fix those roads. You understand what I mean? So that when the tourists come here, they're driving in safe roads. The reason why tourists don't want to come to our country is because, number one, they are afraid because the roads are not what? They're not safe. So if they have an accident, our hospitals are not what? They're not good. You understand what I mean? So a tourist, when he wants to travel to another country, he thinks of things like that. When I go there, am I not going to die because of the roads being bad? Okay, if I get sick when I'm in Malawi, will I get a good hospital for me to be treated? If those answers are no, the tourist is not going to come. You understand what I mean? The other questions they also ask, if I go to Malawi, am I going to be safe? Are people not going to attack me? So things like that. So there are so many things that we have to do that will attract people to come here. The same things when the stuff that we're producing in Malawi. A person from Zambia is going to ask himself, should I go and buy a soya machine from China, or should I go to Malawi to buy it? And he will think and say, is the machine that I'm going to buy in Malawi going to be helping me better than the one that is coming from China? If the answer is yes, they will come to Malawi and buy.
Another question.
Another question.
For this machine actually to go outside the country,
Yeah.
is it allowed or is
Good question. For me to sell this machine to Zambia, the government of Zambia, for them to allow this machine, they will want to see that this machine meets the standards of that country. So for me to be able to make a machine that can be sold in Zambia, it needs to meet the standards of Zambia or international standards. But that can only happen if I'm being given an environment that allows me to be able to produce a machine that is up to the standard of international standards. So yes, I am allowed to sell the machine outside, but each and every country I want to sell, they're going to want to know if this machine meets their standards or international standards. So what many governments do is that they have a support system that supports people like me to help me to lift the standards of this machine. I can give an example. The cement block machine that we make here, it was displayed. There was a picture of the machine we make here. It was displayed in Dubai. But if the machine was taken to Dubai, a lot of the people that were going to go there to see this machine, they were more special people who understand how machines work. They were going to want to say, okay, Malawi is displaying this machine that's coming from Malawi. Does this machine meet international standard? Yeah. So people who understand those things were going to say, look, the welding is not good. Look, the safety things or whatsoever is not good. Then they were going to say, why do they take a machine from Malawi and put it here, which does not meet the international standards? You understand what I mean? So it is the duty of the government to look around and see who are the manufacturers in our country. And now, how can we help them to make sure that their products meet the international standards? But I know many people say it's not government's duty. The government must just bring an environment for the business to prosper. But there are countries like China, they go the extra mile to help their entrepreneurs so that they can be able to compete on the international market. If you don't do that nowadays, it doesn't help. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Okay, what is the other one?
Are there any restrictions for sending the machines or any other products that are made in Malawi?
Yes, there are restrictions, but the advantage now, we have what we call SADC. SADC is the Southern African Development Cooperation, meaning that the countries which are in the Southern Africa, like Malawi, Tanzania, Zambia, South Africa, they've come together and say, let's work together so that we can help one another, to uplift our economies. So they make it very easy for me to take this machine to Zambia. All I need to do also is to meet the standards that the SADC region is requiring. That's all I need. So there are no restrictions. But some countries, South Africa, they still put some measures that restricts other people from bringing their things into their country. Why do you think they do that?
Because they don't want to be giving up.
They don't want their local manufacturers to be given competition with outside manufacturers. So there are some kind of products that they will not allow me to just go freely in South Africa and sell. We should be doing the same thing in Malawi. To say, okay, let's say we want Malawians to be producing wheelbarrows. So our government can easily say, we don't want any imported wheelbarrow to come to Malawi. We want a wheelbarrow to be made in Malawi. So that will mean that everybody who's building in Malawi, whether it's building or it's a farmer, when they want to use a wheelbarrow, it's going to be made where? Made in Malawi. What do you think is going to happen? If the government can do that, what's going to happen?
Malawi will be developed.
Almost every welder is going to make what? Wheelbarrow. Almost every welder is going to be making wheelbarrows. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And there will be big competition of producing what? Wheelbarrows. So what do you think is going to happen? Malawians are going to start making better wheelbarrows to compete with one another. And when they do that, what happens? The price of the wheelbarrow goes down. And then what happens? Zambians are going to come to Malawi to buy what? Wheelbarrows. And then it's going to bring what? Foreign exchange. Do you have another question?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. I thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you can show this to your children and they'll also learn something. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.